Do you see 1111? Do you feel a power behind it, or it's a moment to take a pause, take a deep breath, make a wish, say a prayer? Those of us who see 1111 um, really as it becomes more in our consciousness and we become more aware of it, we begin to see it more often. And I call it an awakening code because it really does symbolize spiritual awakening and enlightenment. And it does help lead us on our path. And I wanted to just vulnerably share with you how the power of 1111 has affected my life. And you might find some correlations with your own. I first started noticing 1111 when I was very young. And when we started to have digital clocks around the house instead of the hand clocks. And I would be thinking about something really powerful or empowering or inspiring. And I would look up at the clock and it was 1111. And I found that throughout the years, the more that I tuned into that moment in time and actually used it intentionally to call things into my life, I began manifesting them. So, my husband and I have been hosting 1111 gatherings for many years now. This year will be our 15th annual 1111. It started in our home with a small group and a potluck and a small ceremony at 1111 on 1111. And then it grew to bigger homes and then it grew to retreat centers. And in 2020, it became a virtual event. And when we started having those small gatherings in our home, Andrew and I were really struggling with calling in a child. We weren't sure about the timing. We weren't sure if we wanted a baby before December 21st, 2012, when the end of the Mayan calendar was happening. And we were like, what kind of world are we going to be bringing a child into? And so we really started struggling with what is the right time for this. And so on 11/11 of 2012, we held the intention in our heart during our 11/11 ceremony with our community, and we set the intention for a child to enter our life. And December came and went, and in January, we cleaned the house, we set up an altar, we pulled out our journals, and we began creating our letter to the universe, really inviting in who we wanted in our life, how we wanted them to show up, what kind of personality we wanted them to have, and down to the fact that we wanted them to just come into our life and we could continue living our life and going to festivals and sharing and being a part of the transformational West Coast festival circuit. And it took a year and 8 months for our child to come through. And I found that when I thought about him, because we didn't know it was a boy at first, when I thought about him, I would look up at the clock and it was 11:11. And I'm like, okay, all divine timing, all synchronized. It's all going to happen in the perfect timing. And of course, when he arrived, we were so grateful. And this is just one thing that 11:11 has led me so much on my path. When my husband and I first met and I came up to Joy Oasis for the first time and I saw this beautiful land, we actually arrived at the door at 11:11 a.m. And I have found that this code has helped lead my path in so many ways. And right now, the world is going through so much. There's so much turmoil and chaos and information for us to decipher and depict or decipher what is ours to know, what is ours to just let go of, and what is ours to actually create in our life. And I find that every time 11:11 comes around, there's like this heightened energy. It's like building up. And then once we've reached that pinnacle and that portal day of 11:11, there's this deep inner peace, this deep inner knowing that everything's going to be okay. this deep harmonizing with our life, and synchronicities and signs begin showing up even more. And throughout the years, I've noticed that being in sacred ceremony with our community on this portal day has been so impactful and so important. And not just for ourselves as individuals or in partnership, for the collective, for our community. We would invite members of our community to say a prayer for themselves, say a prayer for their family, say a prayer for our community, and say a prayer for the world. And we found throughout the years that somebody who was injured became healed much more swiftly. Somebody who was calling in their divine partnership received that new relationship. Somebody who wanted a new job would get a new job. So, whatever we're thinking of, saying, doing, our thoughts, our actions, our deeds on 1111 Portal Day amplifies and magnifies our intention in our prayer. And so I have found that it is really a global phenomenon. So many people see 1111, work with 1111. And so it's been really important to me to provide a beautiful sanctuary, a safe space for people to come and be in community on this special portal day. And so this year, our 1111 is called Activate Your Soul Codes. And during this sacred event, we will be sharing our intention of awakening and elevating humanity. You can walk away with an expanded awareness of unity consciousness. You'll receive more of your soul contract and what you're here to do, realizing your highest potential, claiming your purpose, awakening to your mission so that you can serve the collective and we can elevate humanity together, inspiring global change and impacting the world. Because it really does begin within. If we want peace, we have to come from a heart of peace. If we want compassion in our life, we have to hold compassion for ourselves first and foremost. And so imagine the energy of many souls unified in purpose on the same date at the same time. So this is part of the mission of 1111 Unified Network. And as we activate our soul codes, we can do it from home. And it is also even more impactful when we are at sacred sites. And so we'll be sharing a little bit more about our Egypt pilgrimage next year for 2025 when we plan to be at the sacred sites of Egypt on 1111. And so I invite you, friends, to hold the prayer for peace and unity with us, to ignite our planetary light grid together, and to further awaken the consciousness of humanity so that we can ascend into our highest new Earth timeline. I'll be joined by many luminaries on 1111, and we will have a beautiful ceremony that incorporates opening your voice and your throat chakra through song and movement and sacred movement, medicine and dance, and visualizations and guided meditations, as well as an 1111 ceremony at the moment of 11:11 a.m. So, beloveds, come join us for this amazing, impactful event and know that I have been through so many hard times in my life, and 1111 always led me on the right path. So, even if you haven't been acknowledging it in this way, I invite you to begin doing that because it really does open up new doors for you. It opens up ways of being. It opens up the fact that we are unified. It is a moment to come into unity with unity consciousness within the unified field, God, creator, source, energy, whatever name you put to it. And when we do this together in community, we can really create impact. We can really ripple this energy out into the unified field together. So, beloveds, I really look forward to seeing you then. 1111 also is the four, it's the builder of things that laughed. It's creating a foundation. So, let us create the foundation of our newer timeline together this year. You can find out more on my Anastara link tree, and that is linktr.ee /Anistara1111, ANISTARA 1111. And I look forward to seeing you there. Blessed be, blessed be. Have a beautiful Wisdom Wednesday.